My 8-year-old son, Zayn, was dancing in the living room, showing off his moonwalk and buzzing about his aunt's wedding. Then my phone vibrated with a text from the bride's mother. She wrote, "Hey, my daughter's wedding is tomorrow, and I'm not letting your little freak son ruin it. She already puts up with that creature enough. When you babysit, don't bring him. I'm deadly serious." Zayn read over my shoulder, and his face collapsed when he saw the words freak and creature. Have you ever felt such a searing, gut-wrenching anger? A fury so deep it makes your blood run cold? Because just hours before a family wedding, someone I loved, someone who should have been family, tried to ban my autistic son, calling him a creature. And honestly, you won't believe what happened next. My 8-year-old, Zayn, was practically levitating with excitement. He was moonwalking across our living room, all bouncy energy, just thrilled about going to his Aunt Jessica's wedding. For an autistic kid who doesn't always get to do big social things, this was huge. He'd just finished showing me his latest move when my phone buzzed. It was Reagan, Jessica's mom, the mother of the bride. I opened the text, and my world just stopped. It read, "Hey, my daughter's wedding is tomorrow, and I'm not having your little freak son ruining it. Besides, she already deals with that creature enough when babysitting. Don't bring him. I'm deadly serious." Disbelief. Pure, unadulterated shock. My eyes just stared at the words, unable to process the venom. Before I could even breathe, Zayn climbed onto the couch, snuggling next to me. "Is that about the wedding, Dad?" he asked, his voice full of hope. I tried to pull the phone away, but it was too late. He'd seen it. His sweet, eager face crumpled right before my eyes as he read freak and creature. His voice became a tiny whisper, barely audible. She doesn't want me." His little hand pointed at the screen. "I'm a creature." The tears started then instantly. Not a tantrum, no. Just silent, heartbreaking tears rolling down his cheeks. "I thought Aunt Jessica loved me." "She does love you, buddy," I choked out, pulling him close. "This is Reagan, not Jessica." My phone buzzed again. "Reagan, I hired security. Your son's name isn't on the list." Zayn saw that one too. "Security? Like police? To keep me out?" His little body tensed. A raw, burning rage ignited within me. I typed back, "Jessica loves him. She'd be heartbroken if he wasn't there." Reagan's response was instant, cutting. "It's my money paying for this wedding. My rules." Zayn was full-on sobbing now, tears soaking my shirt. I practiced my dancing for nothing. I wanted to show everyone my moonwalk. I pulled him onto my lap, holding him tight. "Listen to me," I said, my voice firm despite the tremor in my chest. "We are going to that wedding. Reagan doesn't get to decide who loves you." My jaw clenched. "And the security?" "Screw security. Aunt Jessica invited us. That's all that matters." I wiped his tears, trying to inject some fire into his spirit. "You want to go shopping for the coolest wedding outfit ever." His eyes, still red-rimmed, lit up a fraction. "Really? Really? We're going to make you look so awesome that Reagan's going to be absolutely furious she ever tried to keep you out." A small, wobbly smile appeared. "Can I get dinosaur something?" "Dinosaur everything if you want." He sprang up, practically vibrating. "We're really going. Promise." "Promise. Now go get your shoes. We've got shopping to do." The next morning, Zayn was practically bouncing as we entered the suit store. "I want something Reagan will hate," he declared to the clerk. She chuckled. "Let's make you unforgettable." He picked a blue tie, because Aunt Jessica loves blue. The clerk, a kind woman, whispered to me, "Trouble with in-laws? Mother of the bride doesn't want him there because of his autism, but the bride loves him and does." Her face hardened. "Come with me, sweetheart. We're going to make you rock the show." She brought out dinosaur-tinted sunglasses. "These are very trendy right now." Zayn's jaw dropped. "Dinosaur glasses. Can I, Dad? Please." Reagan would absolutely lose her mind. I grinned. Absolutely. My phone buzzed again. Reagan, security will remove you both. The clerk saw my face, saw my struggle. What else can we add? She asked, a twinkle in her eye. Oh, suspenders. I blurted. Dinosaur suspenders. Zayn screamed with delight. Add them, I said, a defiant smile spreading across my face. At the card store, Zayn made a beeline for the biggest, most obnoxious card. This one has glitter that falls out, he announced, a mischievous glint in his eye. Perfect. Maximum mess. He carefully wrote, I love you, Aunt Jessica, then absolutely covered it in dinosaur stickers. Reagan's going to hate these dinosaurs. My phone rang. It was Jessica. Mom said Zayn's sick, she asked, confusion in her voice. Not sick at all, I replied, my voice steady. Your mom doesn't want him there. What? She gasped. No, he's coming. In fact, I have a special job for him. Unofficial ring bearer. Don't tell Mom. Meanwhile, Zayn had discovered temporary tattoos. Dad, dragon tattoos. Get 3 packs. She's going to be so mad. He was actually giggling now. Pure, unadulterated joy. At home, Zayn picked the brightest, wildest flowers from our garden. Every color, like a dinosaur. He wrapped them in neon pink paper towels with orange ribbon. This is the ugliest bouquet ever. She'll hate it, but Aunt Jessica will think it's funny. My cousin texted, heard what Reagan did. We've got your back. Also, Grandma's coming. Reagan banned her last year. This is going to be epic. I couldn't help but text back a single. Zayn modeled his complete look. Suit, dinosaur glasses, suspenders, dragon tattoos on both hands. Do I look annoying? He asked, puffing out his chest. Spectacularly annoying, I confirmed, unable to hold back my laugh. Reagan sent a photo. Security knows your faces. Zayn saw it. His confidence wavered for a second. Dad, what if they really don't let us in? Then we make such a scene that Jessica comes out and gets us. Can I yell really loud? The loudest. He practiced his entrance right there in the living room. And Jessica, it's me, Zayn, the one Reagan hates. In the car, he was ready for war. Dinosaur glasses on, clutching his glitter bomb card. Dad, Reagan's going to be so embarrassed. That's the plan, buddy. Pulling up to the venue, my cousin waved us through the door. Reagan's already drunk at the bar. You're clear. We walked in. Reagan spotted us immediately. Her face contorted into pure rage. She started power walking over, wobbling in her heels. Aunt Jessica! Zayn screamed across the entire venue. Jessica turned, a joyful squeal escaping her lips. Zayn! My baby! She ran over in her stunning white wedding dress, scooping him up. Your glasses. Your suspenders. You look incredible. I brought you ugly flowers, Zayn announced proudly. Reagan hates them. Jessica burst out laughing, a sound of pure delight. They're perfect. Reagan reached us, seething. I specifically said, Mom, did you try to ban my nephew? Jessica cut her off, her voice suddenly firm. He's not your nephew. Reagan sputtered. He's family, and his dinosaur glasses are amazing. Then Grandma appeared, materializing like a superhero. Reagan, still gatekeeping weddings, I see. Reagan's face went white. You weren't, Jessica invited me. Unlike you, she has a heart. During the ceremony, Zayn sat perfectly still, a little angel, except for dramatically adjusting his dinosaur glasses every few minutes. When they kissed, he yelled, Finally! The whole room erupted in laughter. Reagan looked like she was about to combust. At the reception, Zayn moonwalked across the entire dance floor, his dinosaur glasses reflecting the disco lights. Reagan's own sisters high-fived him. Jessica pulled him up for a special dance, announcing, My favorite person here. That's when Reagan snapped. She stood up, storming toward the DJ booth. The music cut. She grabbed the mic. This child was not invited and needs to be removed. Reagan's voice shrieked through the speakers, echoing, making everyone in the room freeze. 200 pairs of eyes swung between Reagan at the microphone and Zayn, still standing on the dance floor. My blood turned to ice. I watched my son's dinosaur glasses slip down his nose, his bottom lip starting to tremble. He's a problem. Reagan kept going, her words slurred and angry. This is my daughter's special day, and I won't have it ruined by some. Jessica jumped up from the head table so fast her chair fell backward. Her white dress swished as she ran toward her mother. Mother, stop! Jessica's voice cut through the room. She reached for the microphone, but Reagan pulled it away, holding it above her head like a prize. Everyone needs to know what kind of creature you brought to our family party. Reagan shouted into the mic. Zayn's whole body started shaking. I watched him begin to rock back and forth, the thing he does when he's truly terrified. I pushed through the crowd, desperate to get to him, but Grandma beat me there. She wrapped her arms around him tight. "You're perfect, sweetheart," she said, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "Don't listen to her." Robert, the groom, stood up from the head table, his jaw set hard. He walked calmly to the DJ booth. "Reagan, you're drunk. Give me the microphone." She held it tighter against her chest. "This is my money, my wedding, and that thing shouldn't be here." The word "thing" made people gasp all around the room. Several of Robert's family members stood up from their tables. His mother called out from across the room, "Reagan, that's enough. He's a child." I finally reached Zayn, dropping to my knees. I pulled him against me as tears streamed down his face. "I'm ruining everything again," he cried into my shoulder, his little body trembling. "No, buddy," I whispered, holding him tight. "You're not ruining anything. Reagan is the one ruining things." Jessica finally managed to yank the microphone away from Reagan, pulling it hard. "Everyone, I'm so sorry," she said, her voice shaking but strong. "My nephew Zayn is exactly where he belongs, with family who loves him." Reagan tried to grab the mic back, but Robert stepped between them, blocking her with his body. "You're choosing that creature over your own mother." Reagan shrieked, her voice carrying even without the microphone. That's when David stood up from his table, Reagan's husband. He had a look on his face I'd never seen before. Dark, angry, and utterly done. "Reagan, we're leaving now." His voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. "What?" "David, no." Reagan pointed at us, her arms shaking. "They need to leave." David was already walking toward her, his steps steady and sure. "I've watched you do this for 20 years, he said, reaching the DJ booth. "You did it to my sister, to my mother, and now to an 8-year-old boy. I'm done." The room went so quiet you could hear the air conditioning humming. Reagan's face went from red to white in seconds. "David, you don't understand. He's autistic. He'll ruin. The only person ruining anything is you." David's voice boomed across the whole room, making Reagan step back. Zayn pulled on my sleeve, his dinosaur glasses sitting crooked. "Dad, should we go? I don't want Aunt Jessica's wedding to be sad." Before I could answer, Jessica was beside us, dropping to her knees in her wedding dress right there on the floor. "Zay, sweetheart, you are the best part of this whole day," she said, tears running down her face and messing up her makeup. "I'm so sorry about my mom. Will you dance with me, please?" Zayn looked at me, then back at Jessica, confused. But Reagan is wrong, Jessica said firmly, taking his hands in hers. "You're not a creature or a thing. You're my favorite nephew, and I love your dinosaur glasses and your moonwalk and everything about you." The DJ, who'd been watching everything happen with wide eyes, leaned into his microphone. "How about we get this party started again? This one's for Zayn." The opening notes of the song Zayn had been moonwalking to earlier filled the room. Side note, It made me wonder if Reagan paid for the wedding. Why is David, her husband, finally snapping? What else has she been doing to him and his family for 20 years? This is deeper than just one incident. Half the room started clapping to the beat right away. Robert's mom shouted from her table, "Come on, Zayn! Show us that moonwalk again." Zayn wiped his nose with his sleeve, and I saw a tiny smile beginning to show. Reagan started walking toward us, wobbling in her heels and nearly tripping. This is my wedding. I paid for everything. But Grace and 3 other cousins stepped in front of her, making a wall with their bodies. "Actually, Mom," Jessica said, standing up and smoothing down her dress. "Robert's parents paid for half, and they want Zayn here." Robert's dad nodded from across the room, raising his drink. "The boy stays." Reagan spun around, looking for someone, anyone, to take her side, but even her own sisters were shaking their heads at her. "You've gone too far this time, Reagan," one of them called out. Zayn suddenly stood up, pushing his dinosaur glasses back up his nose with determination. "I want to dance with Aunt Jessica." He took her hand, and they walked to the middle of the dance floor together. The whole room let out this collective awe sound as Jessica and Zayn started dancing. He did his moonwalk while she spun around him, her dress floating out like a cloud. People pulled out their phones, recording everything. Reagan made one last desperate move, heading for the door marked office. "I'm getting the manager. This is against the law." David followed her, shaking his head, like he still couldn't believe this was his life. While Reagan was gone, the music kept playing, and Zayn kept dancing with Jessica. When the song finally ended, he took this big, dramatic bow that made everyone laugh and clap even louder. "Dinosaurs are awesome!" someone shouted from the back, and Zayn's whole face lit up as he pushed his glasses up proudly. Robert walked over and lifted Zayn right up onto his shoulders. "This is my new nephew, everyone. The coolest kid at this wedding." Zayn laughed for real now. All those earlier tears were completely gone. From up on Robert's shoulders, he could see the whole room full of people smiling at him, clapping for him, loving him. About 5 minutes later, Reagan came back, dragging this tired-looking man in a black suit, the venue manager. "These people weren't invited!" she shrieked, pointing right at us. The manager looked around the room at Jessica in her wedding dress, laughing at Zayn up on Robert's shoulders, at everyone having a great time. "Ma'am," the manager said carefully, "I see a wedding party with happy guests. The bride clearly wants them here." Reagan's face turned purple. "I'm paying for this venue." "Actually," Robert's father stood up, pulling out his phone. "I have the receipt right here. We paid our half directly. Our names are on the contract, too." The manager simply nodded and walked away, leaving Reagan standing there, utterly alone in the middle of the room, with everyone staring at her. "You're all going to regret this," she said, her voice cracking. "Jessica, you're out of the will." Jessica actually laughed, like really, truly laughed. "Mom, you've been using that will threat for 15 years. I don't care about your money. I care about family, real family that loves no matter what." David came back, carrying Reagan's purse and coat. "We're leaving, Reagan, now." She tried to argue, but he was already guiding her toward the door. "You can stay at your sister's tonight. I need to think." As Reagan was let out, she turned back one last time. "That child will ruin your life, Jessica." Jessica walked over and took Zayn's hand. "The only thing being ruined tonight is your relationship with everyone who matters." The room stayed quiet for a moment after the door closed behind them. Then Grandma raised her glass high. "To Zayn, the best dancer at this wedding." Everyone raised their glasses, shouting, "To Zayn!" Zayn hid his face in my shoulder, happy but overwhelmed by all the attention. "Dad," he mumbled, "everyone likes me." I hugged him tight. "They don't just like you, buddy. They love you." About 10 minutes later, the DJ leaned into his microphone. "Special request from the bride. everyone on the dance floor for the ZAY train. Music started pumping, and Jessica led a conga line with Zayn right at the front, his dinosaur glasses catching all the disco lights. He added his moonwalk moves to the conga line, and everyone behind him tried to copy it, laughing when they couldn't get it right. Robert's mom found me at the edge of the dance floor. "Your boy is wonderful. Reagan's been a problem at every family party. Thank you for standing up to her." I watched Zayn leading that conga line, adding spins and slides, everyone following him like he was the Pied Piper. He just wanted to celebrate his aunt's love. That's all he ever wanted. The party kept going strong for another hour when David came back alone. He found me by the bar, looking tired but somehow lighter. "I'm filing for divorce Monday," he said. 20 years of watching her hurt people. Your boy was the last straw." "I'm sorry," I told him, and I meant it. Even awful people's divorces are sad. David shook his head. "Don't be. Zayn did us all a favor. Sometimes it takes a child's honesty to show us what we've been ignoring." Jessica and Robert came to find us for the official photos. "We want Zayn in all the family pictures," Jessica declared. "He's family. Real family." Zayn fixed his dinosaur glasses, all importantly, making sure they were perfectly straight. The photographer arranged everyone, putting Zayn right in front. Perfect. The dinosaur glasses are actually great. Zayn smiled huge, and for one shot, he did his moonwalk pose that made everyone crack up. Later, during the cake cutting, Jessica called Zayn up to the front. "My nephew gets the first piece after us," she announced. Reagan's empty chair at the head table seemed to stare at everyone, but nobody cared. Zayn carefully took his cake plate, then stopped. "Aunt Jessica, will Reagan be mad at you forever because of me?" Jessica knelt down in her dress. "Baby, Reagan's anger is her choice. My love for you is mine." We were all eating cake when suddenly sparkles started falling from the ceiling vents like snow. The glitter I'd put in that obnoxious card earlier had finally worked loose from the air conditioning. I forgot about that. Zayn shouted, jumping up with joy. Instead of being upset, everyone laughed and started dancing in the glitter rain. "This is the best wedding ever," someone shouted. Jessica spun around in the sparkles, her white dress catching the light like a disco ball. Robert grabbed the microphone. "Everyone, this glitter is courtesy of my new nephew, Zayn. Reagan said he'd ruin the wedding. Instead, he made it magical." The crowd cheered and kept dancing in the falling glitter. By 11:30, the party was winding down, and Zayn had fallen asleep in my lap, still wearing his dinosaur glasses. Jessica and Robert stopped by our table one more time before they left. "Thank you," Jessica whispered, touching Zayn's hair gently. "For bringing him anyway, for fighting for him. Reagan stole so much joy from my life." "Not anymore," Robert added, a fierce protectiveness in his eyes. "We want Zayn at every family event, every birthday, every holiday. And Reagan won't be there to stop it." I nodded, feeling something heal inside me that I didn't even know was broken. I carried sleeping Zayn out to the car, his dinosaur glasses crooked on his face, glitter stuck in his hair. The parking helper who brought our car around said, "That your boy who did the moonwalk? He was amazing." In the car, Zayn woke up briefly as I buckled him in. "Dad, did I do good?" I kissed his forehead. "You did perfect, buddy. You were exactly yourself, and that's always good." He smiled and fell back asleep. As I drove home, my phone kept buzzing with texts, photos, and videos from the wedding, all showing Zayn dancing, laughing, being loved. Each message said something like, "Your son is wonderful," or "Reagan was so wrong." The next morning, Zayn woke up and immediately put on his dinosaur glasses. "Can we go to more weddings?" he asked over breakfast. "But only ones where they want me there, not where I'm a creature." "You're never a creature," I told him firmly. "You're Zayn. You're perfect." He thought about this while eating his cereal. Reagan thought I was a creature. Reagan was wrong about a lot of things, I said, a finality in my voice. Around 10, Jessica texted a photo from the photographer. The family picture, with Zayn front and center, his dinosaur glasses and huge smile the focal point of the whole shot. Her message said, ordering 100 copies. Reagan can stay mad. That afternoon, David called. I wanted you to know I'm setting up a college fund for Zayn, he said, his voice softer, kinder. Reagan controlled our money for years, using it to hurt people. Time to use it for good. I didn't know what to say. David, you don't have to. I want to, he insisted. That boy showed more courage last night than most adults ever do. He deserves every opportunity. Seriously, how many times has Reagan used the out-of-the-will card to control everyone, including David? A week later, at Zayn's regular therapy appointment, he told his therapist all about the wedding. Everyone clapped for my moonwalk, and Aunt Jessica said I was the best part. His therapist smiled at me over his head. This was huge progress from the boy who'd believed he was a creature just a week ago. And you know what? Zayn continued, swinging his legs from the chair. When the glitter fell, nobody got mad. They said it was magic. Maybe being different isn't bad. The therapist wrote notes, nodding with a smile. How does that make you feel, Zayn? Like maybe I'm not wrong, he said, pushing his glasses up. Like maybe I'm just me, and that's okay. Reagan was the one who was wrong, not me. The therapist sat down her pen and leaned forward. That's a very grown-up thing to understand, Zayn. You're absolutely right. 2 weeks later, David called while Zayn was at school. Thought you should know. Reagan signed the divorce papers. She's moving to Florida to live with her sister. How are you doing? I asked because, even though Reagan was awful, divorce is still hard. Better than I have in years, David said. I'm seeing my own family again. Reagan had me cut them off years ago. My sister cried when I called her. Good for you, David. He paused. Listen, I meant what I said about Zayn's college fund. It's all set up. That boy saved my life by just being himself. 3 weeks after that, Jessica called with news that made Zayn jump around the living room for 10 minutes straight. I'm pregnant, and guess what we're calling the baby if it's a boy? What? Zayn asked, pressing his face against my phone. Zayn, after the bravest kid I know. Zayn's eyes went huge behind his dinosaur glasses, which he still wore every day. Really? A baby named after me? Really? Really? Jessica said, her voice soft with emotion. You showed me what real family means. I want my baby to be just as brave as you. A month after the wedding, Zayn had to do a presentation at school about an important event in his life. He stood in front of his class wearing his dinosaur glasses and told the whole story. My great-aunt tried to ban me from a wedding because I'm autistic, he said, clearly not ashamed anymore. But I went anyway, and you know what? Everyone else wanted me there. Sometimes one mean person doesn't speak for everyone. His teacher had tears in her eyes. Zayn, that was incredibly brave. Class, what can we learn from Zayn's story? A girl raised her hand. That being different doesn't mean being wrong. Exactly, the teacher said, and that's standing up for. Yourself matters. Zayn sat down with his head high. 3 kids asked to see his dinosaur glasses at recess. 2 months after the wedding, Reagan tried to reach out. She sent a letter, an actual paper letter, to our house. Zayn found it first and brought it to me. It's from Reagan, he said, recognizing her name on the return address. I opened it and read it out loud. I've had time to think. Perhaps I was too harsh. If you apologize for disrupting my daughter's wedding, we can discuss Zayn attending future family events with proper supervision. Zayn looked at me. She still thinks I did something wrong. Yes, she does. Should we write back? I pulled him onto my lap. What do you think? He thought hard, pushing his glasses up. Number. She's not really sorry. She just wants us to say we were wrong and we weren't. That's very smart, buddy. We threw the letter away together. 3 months after the wedding, we had Christmas at Jessica and Robert's new house. The whole family came, David included, looking happier than I'd ever seen him. Reagan's absence felt like a gift itself. Zayn performed his moonwalk for everyone, and this time he added new moves he'd been practicing. Jessica, now showing her pregnancy, danced with him despite Robert's worried hovering. Remember when Reagan said you'd ruin everything? Grandma said, watching Zayn teach his younger cousins the moonwalk. She was wrong about everything, I said. David overheard and came over. You know what the saddest part is? Reagan's alone in Florida, missing all of this. She chose her pride over her family. That night, as I tucked Zayn into bed at home, he asked me something that showed just how far he'd come. Dad, do you think Reagan is sad? Probably. I'm not glad she's sad, he said carefully, but I'm glad she can't make other people sad anymore. That's a good way to think about it. He adjusted his dinosaur glasses on the nightstand. He'd gotten 3 more pairs since the wedding, all different colors. Dad, thank you for not letting her make me think I was wrong. You were never wrong, Zayn. I know that now, he said. The wedding taught me. Not everyone has to love me, but the people who matter do. I kissed his forehead, thinking about the terrified boy who thought he was a creature just 3 months ago. That boy was gone, replaced by this confident kid who knew his worth. Dad, he said as I reached the door. Yeah, buddy. Next time someone calls me a creature, I'm going to say, no, I'm a dinosaur, and put on my glasses. I laughed. That's perfect. And it was, my boy had learned the most important lesson of all, that other people's opinions of him couldn't change who he was. Reagan had tried to break him, but instead, she'd helped him find his strength. He wasn't a creature or a problem or anything she'd called him. He was Zayn, and that was more than enough. Honestly, hearing those words from Zayn after everything he went through, it absolutely melted my heart and made every single fight worth it. What would you have done in my place when you got that first text? Have you ever had to stand up for someone you love against family like that? Tell me what you think. I really want to know in the comments below.